I guess what I'm really trying to say is, don't take those statues for granted. They don't get any better than that one, so if you didn't like it, it's going to be a long ride. A little bit about the duck you guys are riding in today. It was built in Pontiac, Michigan at the cost of $10,000 for use in World War II and later on in the Korean conflict.
Remember where we visited the other day at the museum? That's where Pontiac is.
It stands 9 feet tall, 8 feet 2 inches wide, 32 feet long, and weighs in at a slim and slender 7.5 tons. It can reach speeds of 55 miles an hour on land, 5 to 6 knots on water, and just the other day I got it going 250 miles an hour right over the edge of this cliff. Did I lose anybody?
This guy's a jokester.
If you are about to fall off the duck today, be sure to grab onto the person sitting next to you and bring them with you. I'm not required to stop for just one. Also, if you have a question, feel free to ask. If I know the answer, I will answer it, and if I don't, well then I'll just make something up.
I think he put it in low gear. Deer in there.
If you happen to see any more wildlife while we're out on the tour today, feel free to shout it out and let me know so I can slow down and get you a good look. On the rare chance that we don't see any more wildlife, well then I'll do the next best thing. I'll hand my microphone off to my co-pilot right here, and she can tell you all about her wildlife. Oh, would you look at that? And lucky for her, we have some more wildlife up on the left. Can you see it? It's kind of hard to see. It's pretty small, way out there. Can you guys see it? It's right there. It's that little baby stop sign. So cute.
These ducks were made by GMC.
They grow up so fast. We are now coming up on a series of fairly sharp turns called the S-turns. We do take them pretty fast, so it is considered to be the most dangerous part of the tour today. So by law, I'm required to ask you guys to reach under your seats and fasten those red safety belts.
What red safety?
Duck driver 1, passenger 0.
Yeah, we saw the picture on that.
And just like that, we have descended into beautiful Ferndale. Ferndale gets its name from the 27 different types of ferns that reside here. They include the red fern, the blue fern, the green fern, the black fern, the white fern, the pink fern, the purple fern, the repeating fern, the repeating fern, the repeating fern, the interrupting fern. And my personal favorite, so beautiful yet so hard to see right here on the left, the invisible fern. As you may have noticed, there was a slight drop in temperature when we came down here. That is because of two things. The trees above that create a natural canopy blocking out most of the sunlight, and these sandstone cliffs that lock in moisture and act as a natural air conditioner. At any point in time, Ferndale can be 5 to 10 degrees cooler than anywhere else in the area, making you guys the coolest people in Wisconsin Dells. Behold, the Pacific Ocean. The ride going in can get a little bumpy, so take one hand and put it on the seat back in front of you, and with your other, block your nose. We are now a boat afloat the Wisconsin River. I've just disengaged the wheels, so if you look off to either side of the dock, you can see them slowly sinking to the bottom. A little bit about the Wisconsin River for you guys. It spans 27 different hydroelectric plants as it flows 430 miles diagonally across the state before emptying into the Mississippi River in Prairie du Chien. You may be wondering why it has that brown, dirty color. Well, it gets it from the northern parts of Wisconsin where it flows through a series of tamarack swamps. The trees there give it the color by secreting a tannic acid. And again, you may be thinking, is that tannic acid bad for the plants and wildlife? And in fact, it is not. Tannic acid can be found in everyday drinks such as Coca-Cola, Pepsi, coffee, tea, and my personal favorite, which I had quite a bit of before the tour today, Jack Daniels. We are now coming up on our first rock formation of the day today. That rock sticking out right there, that's called Pulpits Rock. Let me tell you a little story about it as we get closer. A traveling preacher in the 1900s used it as a pulpit where he would play his baby grand piano and preach his sermons to the Native Americans in their birch bark canoes below. All was going well until one day a nasty thunderstorm rolled through the area. A bolt of lightning struck Pulpits Rock, breaking it in half, sending the preacher all the way over there to that tree right there, the green one, and pushing the baby grand piano that he played off to the right where it still sits today. Keys facing the heavens, leg propped up against pulpit. Do any of you guys believe my story? No? If not, I could go over there and show you some more proof. Bet you I could still crank some music out of that baby grand piano. Maybe some hard rock by the Rolling Stones.
He was right. If we didn't like the first joke, we got a long ride ahead of us.
Wonder if all of them use the same lines.
We are now coming up on our second and most famous rock formation of the day today. If you follow this shoreline to where it sticks out and go 50 feet up, that's called Hawksbeak. It was featured on the cover of Life magazine in 1962 and originally used as a signaling point by Native Americans. If you stretch your imagination just a little bit further, the rock up at the top could be its eye, and the rock coming out towards us could be its wing, as he prepares to fly across the Wisconsin River. How do you guys like Hawksbeak? Pretty cool? Yeah. It only took me about 6 months to carve. Every once in a while, somebody will ask me where those stairs go over there. And every time somebody asks me where those stairs go, I tell them the same thing. They don't go anywhere. They stay there.
Bad jokes are coming out now.
Hello.
These sandstone cliffs on either side of the duck are made up of what is called Potsdam sandstone. It is actually a very rare type of sandstone, only found in 4 different places around the world. Potsdam, Germany, where it gets its name, Zurich, Switzerland, upstate New York, and this beautiful 10-mile stretch of the Wisconsin River. It is so soft and so porous that trees are able to grow out of it with little to no topsoil. If I were to give each and every one of you a piece, you would have no trouble breaking it up in your hand.
I can't tell you how much of that stuff I crushed as a kid. That rock was where I grew up, and you can go up to the mountain and pull a piece off and just turn it into powder.
Just on the other side of that hill rose 51.5 inches. All that water had to go somewhere, so bringing 4 lakefront homes, the road, and hundreds of trees, it washed into the Wisconsin River. It only took 2.5 hours to drain out the entire 267-acre lake. To give you perspective on just how high the water got that day, if you look off to our left, it's where the sand meets the grass. If I were to be giving you this tour 200 years ago today, you'd be looking at the lost city of Newport along this right shoreline. Rumors came up that the Milwaukee Lacrosse Railroad Company had planned on building a bridge between these 2 points. Land speculators then bought up all of the land with hopes of selling it back and making a ton of profit. A forest fire later swept through the area, taking out every home except for one, Dawn Manor. And again, please keep Dawn Manor in mind.
Driver, he drives into the lake.
We are about to enter the infamous Dell Creek. Dell Creek is known to get ducks stuck from time to time, but don't worry, I have a foolproof plan in case that were to happen. All of us big strong men are going to walk to the back end of the duck, where we will then lower all of the women and children into the freezing cold Wisconsin River and cheer them on as they push us to safety. How do you guys like that plan? I'm only joking though. The water's not that cold today.